What's up, cool kids? Live and let fly.
I reckon.
Who are you talking to? I don't see any cool kids.
Well, okay,
around.
well, I got the wrong
not
table.
cool.
It's like, I'll see
I'm in my
myself out.
mid-30s. I mean, I'm clearly not cool.
Yeah, there might be some cool old people here, but
Yeah.
certainly don't see any cool
I don't
kids.
know how cool any table could be if I'm there.
I'd say the
Okay,
coolness
well.
ratchets up exceptionally. Okay, if you're there.
I was trying to compliment you all, but like,
We're
okay.
just keeping it real, dude.
Josh has this ability to like lots of people do self-deprecating, but Josh has a way of doing self-deprecating where it's not funny, it's just sad. It's like, oh, now I feel
Completely letting
worse.
the air out of the balloon. It's like,
Right. Generally, self-deprecating is like over the top, and it's like, oh, I'm a piece of shit, ha ha ha. But like
Is
Josh
that
is
how
just
it
like,
goes?
be
Yeah.
sad, be sad for me.
Be sad.
Yeah, I mean that comes from years of sad boy music. Listening,
Stop it.
you know.
Like
Sad Boy was like a topic of discussion
some help.
today. And
I wanted to kind of talk about. So we finally have we've added everybody. I think everybody here except John. John,
Except John.
John's the holdout.
I always stay away from shit that's cool and popping and fresh. All right.
Well, so let's explain
original
what it
Yeah,
is.
let's explain what it is. Yeah, we added a Spotify blend playlist. We all jumped on that, as well as some of our other friends who are not on the pod per se, but friends nonetheless. And we started listening to that and kind of talking about all of our music rec throughout the day.
Yeah, I mean, for those of y'all that don't know what the blend is basically it takes like your Spotify algorithm and the things that you listen to in your taste profile and blends it with anybody else that's in the list and like tries to match things that like everybody might enjoy. So yeah, it's been cool to kind of see what everybody's listening to and just talk about all these different particular bands that some of us aren't familiar with. For instance, like I had never really dug into Death Cab for Cutie, and there was a song on it, which is crazy. No, it's just like one of those things. Like I wasn't ever like, man, fuck Death Cab. I wasn't ever like anti Death Cab or anything like that.
Welcome to being Emily. Okay. It's like, there's nothing against it. I just,
when are you going to start a music review
not.
YouTube channel?
Nope. Can't do it. Can't do it.
That's just too much.
Well,
Don't
no,
have the
YouTube.
vocabulary for it.
YouTube won't let you and not make money on it.
right.
True.
Just some human music.
But yeah, it's crazy to me that I hadn't heard Death Cab because I listened to a whole album today.
Narrow Stairs, by the way, for those of you keeping score at home.
And I've like really liked it a lot. It's very much in my wheelhouse of that type of music, but it is very sad boy. That was kind of my takeaway. My takeaway was like, my takeaway is that this is really
favorite bands for years.
Yeah, it's like really good, but like it's a downer type situation.
What was your favorite tune on Narrow Stairs, Adam?
Hold on, let me pull it up. Talk amongst yourselves. And I'll pull up
I'm
the
a little
track.
verklempt.
I am technically a part of this, but
you're too cool for it. Like you're too cool for every fucking thing ever.
I'm not too cool for a goddamn thing. I haven't had a moment to myself. I'm recording.
He doesn't have any time
because
for it.
I have to right now. Like bro, I don't even get me started. You saw my post about how long my days have been the last couple of days.
Yeah.
I'm just saying I've only had time to click the button that technically joined me into the blend. So like my participation has been y'all judging the tracks that are labeled as heats. Like that's it.
Dude,
Damn.
Dude,
That's
don't
bullshit.
I don't think
because
anybody.
we haven't even talked about any of your songs.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, I had a lot of time today because the project that I've been working on for like 2 months at work, right before lunch, found out that it's being postponed.
Hey.
The exercise that I've been developing is being postponed till next year. And so I was just like, well, fuck it. I guess I'm listening to Spotify all day. I was literally like busting my ass this morning on this thing. And then I got the notification that we were postponing it. It's like, fuck it. Okay.
Okay.
So favorite tracks.
Oh.
I really liked Bixby Canyon Bridge. The opener was great. Grapevine Fires was beautiful.
Definitely.
And Long Division had a great beat to it that kind of like, I was like, as I was getting towards that deep in the middle of it. It's like, all right, I need something to kind of like
Yeah.
pick up. And there was Long Division to
It's
do
just
that.
enough to like bring you out, for a minute, even though it's like all Death Cab, the subject matter is,
Sure.
sad.
Like lyrically, I've listened to a lot of music that's lyrically sad, but still has like movement.
Now, I know that there's going to be at least one person listening to this who will tell me that we should have started you on either Plans or Transatlanticism, depending on who that person is.
Yeah, I would have gone Plans, but I got you.
But I think that Narrow Stairs was the appropriate entry point for Adam specifically, and I stand by that. So I'm just
I mean, I have
what
like
is.
specific things about how I listen to music, and Zach and I have had lots of conversations about that. They're not arguments; they're just conversations, kids. So it's okay.
I will say this. No, I was going to say y'all's
300
conversations
message
are
conversations.
arguments in Emily's book because the first.
I mean, sometimes.
Listen, y'all. The first
We
few
haven't done that in like so long.
Listen, y'all.
They're arguing right now, Adam.
The first few times I saw
Kind of
in
diction.
Discord one of the famous Adam Zach conversations, I was like, I think I messaged Teeth and I was like, are they okay? Is mommy and daddy fighting? What's happening? I don't deal with confrontation.
Miss conflict
conflict
avoidance.
averse.
Yes,
Yeah.
I am very conflict
I'm
Similar
sure
to
my
a degree,
response was something akin to like, oh, they do this all
Yes.
the time. Fuck 'em.
Yeah. It was like, LOL,
look.
nah, they good. Like,
Look, Zach and I have put a lot of work into our relationship
We have.
to be less toxic and more understanding of each other, and I think that's worth noting.
Y'all's
have-
conversations are dense as fuck.
Yeah.
They're still dense. They're just
Oh, we
not
get
mean
down in
anymore.
it.
Listen.
We get
They're
down in
not
it.
There's
mean
times
anymore.
where there's like, how engaging is this conversation for me to either skip all of it
And-
or actually like read it, And I've had times of both.
And that's the thing.
I'll be honest,
you'll look at you'll look at our Discord and this is, we're talking about like our private Discord, okay?
Right.
And you'll look at it and it's like a couple of things have been said, and then I'll come back an hour and a half later and there's 300 messages
easily, and it's still going.
and I'm like, well, I'm out of this loop, and that's okay.
right,
I'm not going to catch up
And
with
it's
this.
like 100 from Zach and 100
Yeah,
from
yeah.
Adam.
And it's just like these people don't work. It's like, come on. Like I'm sitting there actually like working, and I was like, I get to look at Discord at like before the sun comes up, and then I head home, and then it's just like 400 fucking messages.
Also, I
across,
think
like, 5
everybody-
channels.
Everybody here types faster than I do, so like that's also that. I
got those words per minute. you
I
know?
know. I get
Yeah,
real bad.
for sure.
Spelling is
But
hard.
however, I will say what leads itself to the volume of messages is that both Adam and I will type out half a sentence, hit enter on that bitch, and then type
Yeah.
in
And follow up.
So like
Yeah.
it's
You're
one
both
statement, but
machine
it's
gun
16 messages.
Right.
Y'all got a lot to
Right.
say. Y'all are very opinionated people.
I do. I do the same thing. It feels. I think at least the three of us all do that because it feels more genuine that way. Like it's a different thing if you're typing out like a whole paragraph that you edited and stuff. Like
Right.
when you're responding in the moment about something you're passionate about, you just put it out and then like, oh, and I want to add something to that. Boom. Oh, but there's a caveat. Boom. Oh, and I want to add to that. You know, like
right.
I,
It's just very
I get in
conversational,
that same way. Yeah.
Yeah. Heath does
Yeah.
that as well. I've definitely noticed that from you too.
But
And
that's,
I mean, that's
so
fair.
like
We're all
300
friends. We talk a
episodes
lot.
is like, or 300,
300
messages.
episodes.
It's
You know,
not
like-
that much to catch up on. I always roll my eyes when Josh comes in with a dumpster fire meme or just like, oh my God, so many messages. I'm like, y'all, but like,
No.
you know how we talk. It's like
it's
half of those messages are like, yeah, I
You're just
agree.
gonna have
Or,
to
okay,
deal
cool.
with that,
Or like,
man.
you know,
It's the community
you deal with
gift.
it.
It's the
You deal
community
with it.
gift.
deal
Walking
with
in with
it.
pizza and everything's on fire.
but it's not on fire.
Yeah,
though.
it's like totally not.
No,
It's
it
not
can
argument,
come
it's
off
just-
that way for sure.
It's a lot of engagement, is what it is. It's
That's-
just not.
Yeah.
It's not heated.
That's the easy way for me to
passionate.
engage with a like fun
We
little
will-
gif and a couple of winky faces, and then I'm a dip out.
We've also had similar conversations in person as well. Y'all just happen to all be present in the Discord for a
Face-to-face
Discord
is just
conversation.
So, yeah.
So last
Medium,
year.
man.
So back to Death Cab. So I've been I guess I don't like identify that much as a Death Cab person, though I love that band, and me and Zach have listened to that band. Like that, I feel like that was formative in mine and Zach's friendship. Like Death Cab and like the Dresden Dolls were bands that we both got into and like really were on. And both of those bands also are the closest Zach ever got me to emo music. You know,
man, you know, I feel like I got you on some My Chem at some point. Though.
No, that was not you.
Fan?
That was Fuse.
Oh yeah, yeah.
My Chem meaning My Chemical Romance for those not following.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah. Sorry.
I mean, we've lost a good chunk of people already because we're on one of our music tips. But look, if you are this far into the STF network, I'm sorry. Music
The people
is
that
part
we
of that.
lost, we didn't lose. They are fast forwarding currently.
Right.
Well, dude, there are people that listen to us at 1.8 speed already, which
I do that.
I cannot
Dude,
imagine.
don't get me started on the
I cannot
advanced speed
imagine
thing. I hate
what
it.
chipmunks we sound like to
We
these
don't.
people.
No,
we don't. We don't.
that's
We
not how-
sound
that's
like
not
the
how
rest
it's
of the
like.
country.
That's exactly it. We talk very slow.
all it is.
Like we do.
We just-
Right.
Emily, you may sound like the rest of the country.
We sound like we're on cocaine.
So hold on.
Like,
What that tells me is that you haven't actually tried to use the 1.5x or anything, because now it processes it to where it doesn't change the pitch of your.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and so it sounds normal.
Yeah,
It's just
not
a little
tape going
faster.
faster, Zach.
Well,
Yeah.
here's the deal. I have never tried to listen to anything at 1.5 or higher speed because I like to listen to things at the normal speed in which they are recorded.
Try it, man.
So,
Change your life.
As I listen to the Stormlight Archives, the guy speaks very clearly, but holy crap, he speaks slow.
Definitely.
Yeah.
You know,
And
so like
I have to put it at least like 1 1/4 speed.
Yeah,
when
same.
your time is limited, we all have limited time. All of us are very busy.
Sure.
You know? And so something like Stormlight Archive, that's 40 something hours for one book. You know, you listen to it at 1.5, it doesn't sound weird. You know, like it doesn't sound like butchered, or that you're not getting like the performance of the speech. You know what I mean? You still get all the nuance of the thing. It just moves it a little faster.
Yeah.
And particularly with Stormlight Archive, Michael Reading does read
He does.
excruciatingly slow.
I
You know,
actually
like,
kept at 1.0 straight up.
wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I
hit- I hit
that
It took me
175.
5 years, man.
that was the book or the audio medium that made me actually try the higher
Same.
speed, because I had the same viewpoint as you, Zach and Heath, for a long time. But I was like listening to the audiobook of Stormlight, and I was like, dude, I can't with
Yeah.
this. So I was like, I just pushed it up to 1.2, and I couldn't hear it. There was like no noticeable difference at all. And I was
Except
like,
that he
all right,
spoke more quickly.
Yeah.
well, then I put it up to 1.5, and then I was like, okay, yeah, it's moving a little quicker, but his timbre and his like tone and enunciation and pitch are all the same.
Yeah.
It just is faster.
It's almost
you know?
like it just removes some of the spaces in between.
No, it doesn't. Well,
A little bit.
I mean,
like just the
in
edges
speeding
of
it up, the
Yeah.
spaces are
Yeah.
shorter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
But there are certain things that will actually take out silences, and I don't do that because silence is intentional a lot of times for narrators, right?
Yes.
To build
Sure.
tension, and you know, like, so I don't do the little remove silences option, because I think if it's been edited properly, those silences are there for a reason, you know?
yeah.
100.
For what it's worth, I have done, like, I've tried the advanced speed and I don't like it. Like, I was a purist to begin with. Like, I wanted at the speed it's supposed to be presented in the first place, but I have bumped it up. Adam's pestered me numerous times on long things he wants me to catch up that he's read that I haven't. And I just don't want it. Like, I want it to be regular. And it's probably some of my chipmunk brain. Like, I have to be very intentional about listening to podcasts and particularly ebooks. Like, I have to make myself pay attention, even if I'm doing little busy work or whatever. But like, I even the other day, I was listening to one of our podcasts and I bumped it up to 1.5 on accident. And I like got a minute in. I was like, no, stop. What? No.
Well, so
I don't
on that
like
note,
this.
though, I don't remember which one it was, but some live stream that we did, people were
Yep.
in and listening, and we had a number of comments,
yeah.
or maybe across
Yeah.
multiple streams, but
I remember
we've had
that,
comments
Josh.
from people saying it's like You guys don't sound right. You're speaking too slow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm used to you
I
speaking
think
so much
that
more
was
quickly.
For
That's when
STF
I
Con.
changed it for me.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, that's so funny. Though.
I am going to start delivering very, very, very important story exposition really fast like this. You know what I'm saying? Just like really get into
Zach,
it.
you
Right?
suck.
To really like just like fuck with the people who like listen to it with 1.5 speed because I really think they need to slow it down, listen to the proper speed. But you know what I'm saying? It's just it's what it is, right?
You're gonna have to repeat that for me because
I
girl
don't care.
brain,
Sidetracked.
your girl's brain don't go that fast.
I don't think it's anything with the girl brain
I said
specifically.
your
I think yeah.
This one independently.
No, I'm
Yeah.
not going to do that. But
Yeah. And
How is she supposed to listen that fast? She can have babies.
no joke. That is how my sister speaks, though. My sister talks that fast, and Heath can attest to that too.
She
I think
does. She
that
does.
like you literally cannot understand her on the phone. Everybody in her life tells her, Melanie, slow down, and she just doesn't know how.
No one in my family has that problem.
It is funny because like I'll come to like when Zach's in town for like the holidays or something. A lot of the time over the last few years, I'll come by his mom's because she's basically my mom as well. And like Melanie, if she's not there, we'll be on the phone and I'll be like, hey, let me say hey to Mel real quick. And I'll get on the phone with her. And like twice I can recall that I've done this on Christmas or Thanksgiving or something. And like she'll start just going into a story. And I'm like, hold on. What? Like, give me the details of that back.
I've told her
like, do
if
you
it's
have a
important,
transcript
you need
I
to
can look
text
at?
me because don't call me and tell me. Like I won't get anything out of it.
So let me ask you this, because I know Newt listens to us at like 0.8 speed. He slows us down.
He slows us down.
He slows us down. What do you guys think about that?
Well, that's just wild.
I love
That's-
it. I love it. I'm here
you
for
know,
it.
I
Why?
admire
No, but
the
see, that's
punishment.
bullshit, Heath.
Gumption.
Well, if you're a purist and you want to listen to the things about how it's supposed to be listened to, why is it that okay? But I call hypocrisy. So
I literally said it so you would go on that rant. So
I don't
He
know,
baited
man.
you.
So here's how I see it. He just wants more of us. He wants us to last longer.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah.
giggity.
You beat me to it.
Well, sorry, Newt, you're getting 2 good pumps and a good night kiss on the forehead. Okay, that's all you get.
Oh my
Happy
god.
Valentine's Day.
Oh my god.
Fucking good.
Good to know.
I was not prepared for that from you, Zach.
I am just joking.
Nope.
Well,
That's on the
obviously,
internet
still
now,
didn't
buddy.
prepare us for
Yeah,
it.
I mean, there's a lot of shit on the internet.
Flag on the play.
yeah.
Flag on the play.
Flag on the play.
No, it's 2 pumps. 2 pumps.
the
Key and Peele
Cos-
skit.
the
yeah.
Cosnester Smith.
Yeah,
skit.
yeah.
2 pumps. Pause. 1 pump.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Okay. I guess we can play some Starfinder, huh?
We should.
Yeah.
We should.
Maybe
Play it
we'll
at
find
normal
a star
speed, all
this
right?
time.
Nope, we're not finding any stars, folks.
This game is a lie.
It is. Everything you thought you knew about Starfinder, throw that shit out the window.
In Pathfinder, you often find paths.
It's the damnedest
true.
thing.
True.
It's the damnedest thing.
True. Okay, so I think we wrapped up last session with a neat little bow, right? There's you had a little job from the Moonlighters. You got paid. There you go.
All right.
Yeah.
Good
okay.
sesh.
Yeah, good sesh. All right, good deal. Yeah, not too much.
We technically played Starfinder. We talked about it, at least.
I don't know. I feel like we did in fact play Starfinder.
Technically correct, which is, of course, the best kind of correct.
So anyway, after that job, I imagine you're all still hanging out, in the Veskarium, essentially. And I would imagine you're probably hanging out somewhere, around Vesk 3. Maybe you wanted to go to the Skitterhaven Ranch, stop in for a second, something like that. However, when you are in the vicinity of Vesk 3, terrestrial, Roland, you get a call on your personal comm unit.
Well, I know how to use that now because I have an intelligence of 10 instead of
Very
8.
nice. I'm so proud of you,
Look
man.
out, world.
So he like very proudly looks to his crew and is like, "Watch this."
You want to roll to use that thing?
Yeah, I need a
See how
computer's
you-
check, bro. I need a computer's check.
I'm
See
sorry.
if you can use that comms unit.
Is this
I can't
the
do
equivalent
that.
of Mike getting one rank in computers and be like, "Oh God, this gang"?
No, I don't have the rank, so technically I
Oh,
still
nope,
can't do
no,
it.
all right.
Yes.
No, Mike
Okay.
is better than you at that.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, this is the captain.
Greetings. And on the other end of this comm unit, it's a video call.
Okay.
You see a very like well put together Vesk male. Okay, he's wearing a military uniform, and he says, "Greetings. My name is Captain Eshovayo Fireheart, and I have the great honor of serving the Veskarium. Specifically, Directive 9, our military intelligence branch. Now, my unit focuses on capturing fugitives that continuously elude the Veskarium's grasp. Recently, one such fugitive committed a crime at an industrial facility within Command 3, Vesk 3's largest city and capital, as I'm sure you well know. I would like your assistance in bringing this criminal to justice. I cannot discuss the details over comms. However, I heard from Carmelok Gravender, a loyal ally of the Empire, that the bold and skilled crew of the Independents produces excellent results. Would you be interested in serving the Veskarium, Captain?"
The captain hangs up the phone and says, "All right, Morgan, will you compose a message to return to this?" Because he thinks that it's like the other messages where he's been chastised this whole time for talking back to the messages. He's like, "Okay, I got it this time." And he hangs it up on him. Yeah. It says, "Morgan, I need a message sent to this to this Vesk saying that we would indeed take this job.
Morgan,
Curls
Morgan,
into a ball.
I use computers properly."
Morgan immediately starts composing a message and says, "Apologies, we had some technical difficulties for dropping the call earlier, and of
While
course,
Morgan is composing the message, you get another call from the same number.
Morgan
the
steps up
captain.
Did I-
beside you.
There you go.
Yeah. Yes. Look, it seems that he opens. It seems as if we've got another message from this Vesk. Everybody.
Captain, this is a live call.
Yeah, Morgan says,
Oh,
"Hello,
God damn it.
how are you?"
Sorry, I apologize. I'm still trying to understand these things. Yes.
Just imagine
He just
Gadget's
kind of
over in
looks
the
at you
corner,
strange.
snickering.
Yes, we would be very interested in this work.
Well, that was easy. I hadn't even told you the reward yet.
You're right. I'm flustered here. I apologize.
We're always
could you tell us-
interested in work, and we would love to find out more about this work.
Yes. Well, the bounty for the fugitive is 10 BP dead, 15 BP live. We are also prepared to offer you an upfront stipend of 5,000 credits just for accepting the mission. Do I have your interest now?
Well, I mean, as I said, you had our interest.
Very good, very good.
Now you have our attention.
There it is.
Yeah.
Audible face palm from Vincent.
Heston
You
leaves
can
the
hear the
room.
smack. You know?
Morgan
Like, I
sends
hate to do this, but the joke is just too good not to do it, right? Like, it pains me to make Roland so stupid, but, like, the joke was too good not to take
Oh my
it. so.
god.
Well, this has certainly been an interesting conversation. However, Carmelar Ravender is a skittermander of his word, and if he says that you produce results, then I will take his word for it.
Well, I encourage you to check out the many Yelp reviews that we have acquired since being in business.
No fucking hell.
Well, no, hey, we actually
We
did
do,
solicit
yeah.
those reviews. You know, we that's like a good way to say, you know, you can
I
check
forgot
out not
that we
only
did do that,
yeah, you can also Karim is a great friend of ours, but there are others that you could check with too. The Moonlighters, perhaps, as well.
Would you like to subscribe to our Patreon at The Independent?
And if you don't mind, when you finish with this call, if you could just like and, hit the subscribe button
ring
at the
that
bottom.
bell.
Ring the bell.
Go to ring that notification bell so you can be notified anytime that we talk.
I believe it's required to smash it.
Smash it, in
smash
fact.
it.
Yes,
And,
absolutely.
if
yes.
you got enough money for like a coffee, pay it forward.
Sorry, please, Zach, continue.
So Captain Fireheart makes no visible expression the entire time these shenanigans are going on, and he says,
Yeah, I apologize for my crew. They do not know how to handle these type of diplomatic
Morgan
interactions.
tries so hard not to cut eyes, but they do, slowly turn their head and look at the captain.
STF's head is nothing but eyes.
Oops, all eyes.
Vince is just not plus at this point.
It's an average day.
Yes, so if you could, joking aside, if we are interested in this, and please don't let us our jovial.
Don't mind
manner-
us, we're drunk.
Yeah, we're celebrating a successful job, and we certainly want to put another successful job under our belt. So, if you could send over the pertinent details.
"Again, I would prefer not to discuss any
Oh, right, you
details
said
over
that.
comms.
That's right. That's
However,
right, you said that.
if you would, at your earliest convenience, meet me at True Blue Dye Works, the scene of the crime, in Command 3, as soon as you can."
Absolutely.
And he
will be there
nods
soon.
and he salutes you, and the call ends.
Okay.
Captain,
Is it over?
Yes.
yeah, it's over,
yes.
but
Okay.
I got a question for you.
Yes.
When did we become bounty hunters?
We are trying to feed ourselves. I think that.
Yeah, with the
Most
job that
jobs
we
are-
just did, right?
Right, but see, I need armor still.
I
How
don't.
very meta, you Captain.
Morgan kind of was like, I don't think it will do us any harm in acquiring more details about the job. If anything, we can just look
I
at
mean,
it.
it's just 5,000 just to show up.
Yes.
So,
And
I mean,
broadening our potential job horizons is never a bad idea. And if we don't care for it, we just don't accept.
Right, you can't really beat that sign-on bonus, but again, Getty, that meta conveyor ain't gonna pay itself. I'll be honest, I don't have any food to cook anymore, so I'm tired of fucking bread sandwiches, if you know what I mean.
They're toast
Don't you dare
sandwiches.
disparage toast sandwiches, sir.
Gonna say, as the
Gadrick.
person in this group who has tried one.
yeah, Gadrick, I do understand where you're coming from, and let's just go here what the situation is. And if you feel uncomfortable with this job, you have as much say in the task that we take as everyone here. And I trust your experience and age to guide us.
Rude.
Don't know how I feel about that, but appreciate the
Did I
experience
say
part.
something? Did I say something?
You called me old, Captain.
No, I didn't. I said I appreciated your age.
Yep.
Experience, I suppose, would be a more appropriate term. But it reads the same.
Does it?
Just let's pretend it does.
Okay. I'm fine
I
with that.
didn't. I didn't peg you to be so sensitive about
I'm not.
your years,
It's
so
just-
I apologize if I offended.
I'm just a
but-
little out of sorts with the idea, bounty hunting. I'm not opposed to it. It's just kind of caught me off guard, all.
Well, again, let's see what the details of this job are, and if it feels outside of something that we want to represent ourselves as morally, by all means, we will address that at the time. But 5,000 credits just for going is a good start.
Yeah, you make a good point. I mean, hell, I'm going to take you there either way, so.
and that you do, Gadrick. It doesn't take you too long to arrive at Command 3. However, on the way, if you would like to do a little research, you certainly can. A couple of things you may want to research. You want to look up Esheveo Fireheart, right?
Yeah.
The captain. Anybody that wants to gather information on Captain Fireheart can do so with a diplomacy check, actually.
Ooh, I can do that.
Okay.
Go.
I'm actually good at that.
Diplomatic.
Believe it or not. I know that I haven't played him that way, but I promise I am. All right, here we go. A diplomacy check, you say?
Yep.
All right. Okay, well, that's
36.
36. Yeah,
Okay,
that's a
all right.
36.
Well-
I'll say my own numbers. Thank you very much, Zach.
So
Just trying to move it along, man. We're trying
So
to run
sorry.
at that 1.8, you know?
Yeah.
Didn't peg you as so sensitive about numbers.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Roland, you were able to find some information on Captain Esheveo Fireheart. Fireheart.
Fireheart.
Sorry, that was very country.
For her.
Gravy and biscuit, fire heart.
Gravy and biscuit Fireheart.
old fire kicker.
Yeah. So, Esheveo Fireheart is he is a decorated military officer within the Veskarium, known for his loyalty, integrity, and a commitment to justice. He actually earned his surname, Fireheart, when he rescued a bunch of Skittermander civilians from a burning building overrun by the Swarm during the Swarm War. So, that's
love
kind
him.
of...
I was to say, he sounds like good people.
Yeah. So Roland will more effectively than Adam kind of convey this information to Gadrick as he's like, what is this, like, based off the infosphere?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, I will say that Roland, he's trying to be more lighthearted as a captain, and as such, he's kind of having some blind spots, I think. But Gadrick's concern kind of shook him back into focus a little bit, and he did want to be, like, a lot more aware of what we were walking into because of what Gadrick said. So as he gets all this information, he then goes to Gadrick and shares it with him and says, I think that this person is actually quite honorable, and maybe bounty hunter is, at least the connotations of it are more justified than we first thought.
I mean, sure, but, they basically literally said wanted dead or alive. That's kind of how it works in the movies, at least. So I figure,
Oh my god.
Right.
bounty
No,
hunters.
we are definitely going to be hunting a bounty, but we have the choice of bringing him in alive.
That's true. Look, it's just, I'm just used to, well, now that I say it out loud, it sounds kind of silly. I'm used to doing deliveries, but, what with the Defricks and them creepy crawlers
Ghost
busting out of the
exploration.
boxes. And
Yeah. I
ghosts
feel
on
like
ships.
I feel like us saying that we were a trash company is just as accurate and true as us being a delivery company. At this point,
Yeah.
we have done both of those things exactly one time.
It just boils
Yeah,
down
I
to
suppose
semantics.
you're right.
Yes, but no, Gadrick, thank you for being centered. I'm getting excited as we are getting some forward momentum as a crew, and it's important that somebody helps us keep sight of what our moral center is, and I just really appreciate that. And as such, I wanted to do this research and hopefully put both of our minds at ease at this point.
Yeah, well, I'm going to need to dress for the part, right?
You need armor too.
No, I need a duster.
Oh, right. Well, we have some, I think, left from the Defrix drive.
All right, we're on autopilot, so I'm going to go run back real quick and
Can I fly it? No, I'm just kidding.
don't touch anything, Cap, please.
We only got bolos and cowboy hats.
Yeah.
I thought we got dusters.
Well, if you want a duster, you can have a duster, man. It's not that serious.
Oh, look, I found the dusters.
It's
right,
in my
so-
size too.
There's a little more research you can do on the location of this alleged crime, True Blue Dye Works, and that's TRUBLU, True Blue. If anybody wants to research that, you certainly can. There is some public information on the infosphere that's fairly easy to find. You don't need to roll anything for.
So are they
But-
known for their tabletop role-playing dice?
No, it's DYE, not
Oh.
like dye.
Oh.
like clothing dye. So researching that, you find out that it's a manufacturer of organic dyes, especially a particular dye called Zayata Blue. If you want to get some more info, someone can roll me a computers check. It's Tia with the dirty 30.
Okay.
Okay. So Tia, a little digging, and you find that there was a recent burglary at True Blue Dye Works that left 14 people dead, including 8 civilian employees of the facility.
Oh shit!
Jesus.
That's kind of being kept under wraps a little bit, but this did recently happen. So you arrive in Command 3. You park at the spaceport, take a little public transit over.
Wait. Is there any way to research Directive 9?
You're not gonna. Yeah, I mean,
good luck.
But like our characters would
check
know
out the
that.
MySpace
You know what I
page.
mean? Like I think the very act of trying to research and not finding
MySpace.
anything is important for our characters to have done. You know what
okay.
I mean?
Yeah, sure. I mean, yeah.
Because I know we all know D9, right? But
Right.
like our characters wouldn't have never even heard of him, probably, because none of us are from the Vescarium, and it was he mentioned it, right? So let's check about this Directive 9.
Yeah.
Nothing, just total blank. Well,
Yeah,
that's interesting.
Yeah.
I rolled a 28 on my D9 check.
Well, you find out basically kind of what most people would know about Directive 9 and the Vescarium, right? It's the CIA, I guess, of the Vescarium, essentially.
It's just the Wikipedia
It might
page.
be. It might be the FBI, and I mean, I don't know. You know, it's
It's all of it. It's
Yeah.
like they have like one central like
intelligence branch.
agency.
Yeah. I mean, I think Captain Fireheart did mention that Directive 9 was the military intelligence branch.
Yeah.
That's scary. Yep. All right. So anyway, you arrive at Command 3. You park at the spaceport. You take a train over to True Blue Dye Works. Okay. Now, as you all pull up there, you're walking up. I'm sure from wherever the stop was. You see a very large black Nissan Armada parked out front. And as you all walk up, you see Captain Fireheart. Oh, by the way, I have an image of Captain Fireheart if y'all would definitely like
Every
that.
best image needs to come.
By the
my
way, I have an image of a Nissan Armada.
I do have an image of it.
in case
Yeah.
you don't know what one looks like.
There you go. I posted it in our chat, our Discord chat.
Yeah, so it's black. It has 4 doors. Mm-hmm. It's
Yeah.
got roll cage.
an
on the
SUV,
top.
yeah.
Yep.
Anyway, as you do, Captain Fireheart, who you recognize obviously from your call, steps out of the Armada to greet you, and as that door is open, you get a glimpse of something. Can anybody roll me a perception check?
I can.
Yes, I
I'm not
can.
great at it, but I will.
Okay.
I am great at it.
That's
I got a
Hey.
nat 20.
23 for me. Oh,
26.
30.
Natural 1.
Very nice. Okay, those of you who rolled a halfway decent perception check, as Captain Fireheart steps out, you can see there's another Vesk in the car with him, and you can't make out any details, but you see the distinct glowing cherry of a large cigar
what?
before Captain
be.
Fireheart closes the door and walks up
Nice.
and greets you all. And, greetings, crew of the Independence. You made excellent time.
Yes. Well, we have one of the best pilots in the galaxy. That's him over there with the stash.
Stash.
Something I'm trying.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, the captain's just figured out shortening words to try to sound cool.
I will be honest with you all. I am not much for small talk. Please, if you will come this way, I will show you the facility.
All right.
I'm assuming you all...
And Roland's demeanor kind of changes a little bit. He gets a little bit more serious and he kind of just looks at the crew like, all right, let's do this. Yes.
Yeah, this is a D9 captain here.
Like it all kind of like comes together that like this isn't Skitter Haven Ranch, you know what I mean?
You're right.
Like,
To be fair, we couldn't find anything really about D9, so we were just testing the waters, just seeing how funny.
Everybody knows Vesk born in the Veskarium don't do humor, okay? They gotta be born somewhere else to be funny.
Yeah, exactly. They go straight to jail, you know?
So,
Straight to jail.
Captain Fireheart leads you all into the facility. You go through a security checkpoint. They don't even question you with Captain Fireheart with you. You know, they don't even look twice.
With my Roland t-shirt on.
Yeah, he takes you past the security checkpoint into the warehouse, through the warehouse, and then out back to where you arrive in a greenhouse that you see strung. There's cables that are strung all the way around the greenhouse, and they're all holding these large, desiccated-looking leaves that are weighted with these clumps of shriveled, dried berries. Now, in this greenhouse and through these rooms in the warehouse, you see several signs of forced entry and even battle. You see bloodstains, broken glass, like burn marks from blasters firing off, that sort of thing. As you're moving through this whole area. However, when you arrive in the greenhouse, Captain Fireheart stops, and he plucks a leaf from one of these, hanging sort of situations, right? Like these clusters. I'm trying to, yeah.
One of these situations of
Situations that right into a situation hole.
I'm doing the best I can, guys. Okay,
You're doing great. You're doing great.
And he plucks this leaf and he turns it over, and very delicately he splits one of these brown sacks on its back with the tip of his claw. And a tiny golden insect with thousands of legs and circular mandibles crawls out and over the Vesk's hand. Ziopedes burrow inside the leaves of brueo bushes, he says, and those only grow around the city of Zyada, south of here. Skittermanders call these things the gold of the garden planet. But the real gold is inside. And he crushes the insect between his nails, and as he does, this vibrant blue liquid dribbles down his finger. Zyada Blue. So popular, the whole company is named after it. However, about 1 in 100 of these Ziopedes holds an even more valuable treasure. Too small for you to see. A bacterium that can be used to create a biological weapon called Hellfire Toxin. Hellfire is so dangerous and lethal that even the Veskarium rejected its use. Shortly before I contacted you, a team of highly trained and, as of yet, unidentified individuals broke in here and killed more than a dozen people, including 8 civilians. When True Blue took stock of the damage, they discovered the theft. Hundreds of Ziopedes, all carrying the toxin and slated for safe disintegration. We do have a lead, however. A Formian by the name of Jask Beskask used to work at this facility and recently visited, unprompted, just before the attack. We have a reasonable suspicion that they stole the bugs and then set up the attack to cover their tracks. There is only one person who has ever successfully weaponized Hellfire Toxin, and she used it to slaughter an entire city of innocent people. Her name is Agavana Oathbreaker, the Butcher of Barandamana. We think this Formian, Jask, is working for Agavana. We don't know where Agavana is, but Jask owns a music shop on Gaskar 3, a planet in near space. We want you to go there, interrogate Jask Beskask for Agavana Oathbreaker's whereabouts, and then bring her back to me, alive if you can. I have some questions to ask her. Now, I'm sure that you all have some questions as well, and I will do my best to answer them.
All right, that's a lot to take in. So, to be clear, you want us to bring Jask back, or the
traitor, Agavana Oathbreaker.
Agavana, all right. Question is, why us? I mean, you have the might of the Vesk military. Not that we want to turn down this job, but why us and not a specialized crew from the military?
A very good question, Captain. After consulting with my superior, we have determined that you would be potentially the best crew for the job because Agavana Oathbreaker has evaded capture for almost a decade. She knows how we think and how we operate. She would not expect us to hire a group of outsiders like you.
Yes, the joke is on her, for we do not think. No, just kidding. I don't say that, actually.
Speak for yourself.
Yeah, no, I'm just kidding. I don't actually say that. Roland says, all right, well, what can you tell us about Jask? What types of things might we use to put the pressure on Jask?
Very little, to be honest. They own a music shop called Sonic Future in Gascari on Gaskar 3. They aren't a soldier, so I cannot imagine you would have too much trouble getting them to talk. As I said before, they are Formian, and beyond that, they have been quite difficult to pin down, as it were.
All right, and can you tell us a bit more about the traitor?
Yes, absolutely. Agavana Oathbreaker was a former Veskarium soldier who betrayed her own people. 8 years ago, she deserted her unit and then demanded the Empire free hundreds of imprisoned criminals that she claimed had been unjustly incarcerated. When her request was denied, she unleashed Hellfire Toxin on the city of Barandamana. Hundreds of thousands of innocent people burned alive from that bioweapon. It took weeks for some of them to die. Understandably, the Veskarium has a vested interest in apprehending her.
Yes, I can see why. We certainly want to help and prevent any further use of this toxin. Although I must think about the safety of my crew, and I just want to know if there's any particular notes that you could provide us to perhaps shore up defenses and make sure that we're not caught unawares by Hellfire ourselves. Is there an antidote? Or?
Would Morgan know anything about that? They have a pretty good medicine. And I assumed that something like that would be on, like, the infosphere, you know, like that kind of tragedy.
I mean, yeah, like, you know that, according to all reports, Agavana Oathbreaker unleashed Hellfire Toxin on the city of Barandamana, which claimed hundreds of thousands of lives. Mm-hmm. Beyond that, you don't really have too much information on Hellfire Toxin itself, because, again, this is only this is like a byproduct essentially of what I'm sure the Dye Works people would call a faulty, product.
And she's the only one that's ever made it, right?
She's the only person, yes, as Captain Fireheart said, who has ever weaponized Hellfire toxin. It was discussed among high-ranking Veskarian officers, but again, it was deemed too dangerous even for Veskarium use.
Just in general, would we know what is this like an early onset thing? Basically, Morgan would like to know, is this a slow working thing, or is it like boom, instantaneous death kind of situation?
Well, as Captain Fireheart said, it took weeks for some of them to actually die.
Is it basically do like a nuclear fallout type thing, but without the nuclear bomb?
Essentially, yeah. It can kill you instantly, and it can kill you very slowly, depending on, I assume, your proximity.
And your own biological makeup and stuff.
Yeah.
What my question for asking, I'm sorry, is basically, if when we go down there, would Morgan recognize someone who's been in contact with it based on any exterior
Morgan would not recognize any symptoms of Morgan would certainly not be familiar at all with Hellfire toxin.
Gotcha.
And out of character, I feel like, this is an assumption, of course, but I feel like the threat is not of exposure to Hellfire, because this person is trying to make a bunch of it to do probably another attack. You know what I mean? So they're probably keeping it pretty closed in until they're ready to use it.
Yeah.
And I hear where you're coming from. I want to do this job for the reason of that I want to help them, stop this from happening. But I'm also very worried, and again, I'm just kind of talking as Adam now, about Roland making the decision or being on board with the decision of taking all of us to somebody who's basically like a super terrorist, and us getting wiped out in the process. You know what I mean? And so that's where my head is as Adam, trying to think about what Roland would do. I'm curious what you got. Is there any other questions we want to ask him before we discuss this?
Okay, yeah. You know what? I will wait until before we agree. I did want to say something, though.
Yeah, is anybody, Hestia or Godric, Vincent, do you have any questions for...
I have one question.
Fireheart?
Do they have to kill the adorable centipedes in order to get the dye out? Or could they just, do an injection, remove some? Was that just for effect, or...
Captain Fireheart looks at you with this, blank expression that to you says, why would you even ask such a ridiculous question?
It was just perfect because I wrote a 1 on my perception, for one. And also, of course ST would think those bugs are adorable. Let's not...
Sure. Yeah. No, I get it. But
do they just mass kill these bugs to get this dye? I'll look it up, I'm sorry.
Of course they do.
I am sad.
I can't think of anything else.
All right,
real quick, the Sonic Futures, do we know anything about, is it a specialty music shop? Is it just kind of a little bit of everything?
It's just a music shop.
All right.
Have you ever been to a music shop, Emily?
Listen, yes. Dick.
What even is a music shop?
What even is music?
All right, so do you all have any more questions for Captain Fireheart?
I don't think so, and I'll say to him, this is quite the proposition that you offer. Can we take some time to discuss as a team and get back to you with our answer?
I will give you a moment, yes. And Captain Fireheart walks to the other side of the...
Well, that's not exactly...
And then he just stands there. Yeah, he just stands there,
Oh, that's so
looking at you all.
All right, huddle up, team.
Consummate professionals.
So yeah, like, what do first of all, you guys as players, what do you think about this?
I mean,
I'm about it. Like, I mean, both as Heath and as Hestia, it's like super terrorists should be stopped.
yep, agreed.
Sure. Yeah, that's. I don't think there's any argument there. Are we the people to do that?
So
Of course we're not. That's the whole theme of the adventure.
yeah, I think in Morgan's mind, anyways, it's like, you know, we've risked our lives for freaking Defrex. Okay, at this point, if we can actually do something that is really meaningful, that we get paid for, that could help someone, yeah, maybe we're not like trained for this necessarily, but again, kind of like he said, it may work in our favor. So both Morgan and Emily are on board.
So aside from, like, I think morally everybody's on board with like stopping a bad person, but also, like, to your point, like, we've hauled berries, we've like wrangled Defrex, and this, if we achieve this, like, I mean, it's a hell of a point on a resume, for one. Not that I think we'd be able to really advertise it, but I mean, I feel like crew solidarity would be through the roof if we succeeded at this. Like, this is maybe the kick in the pants, the achievement that we need to be like, hey, like, maybe we don't need to have an existential crisis after every single job. Maybe we are actually good at this, you know?
What about you, Gaddy?
Yeah, Gadrick is a little bit hesitant for the same reasons that you guys have already said, but he's for it. You know, he's for helping people and wants to do good. So if everybody else is there, he'll go with.
So really, Vincent is not about it, not to an extreme degree or anything about it, but, I think while we're in this huddle, he's going to be like, look, I've been around the block for about 200 years now, and, I know what the vets are up to. Not in this, not in this circumstance, but, I mean, I've been around for a fair bit of the Silent War. I will tell you, I can't help but think that this is some sort of plausible deniability. All right, we're dealing with the intelligence branch of the Vescorium, okay? The optics of Hellfire being used and stolen from the Vescorium. They're not going to just simply let this information just get out there willy-nilly. They're going to want to take care of either this is hushed or we probably go down with it.
Well, I totally hear what you're saying.
I mean, it's true. This is a bloody eco-terrorist, right? Or a super terrorist.
But here, in response to what you're saying about the secret not getting out, well, we already know it. So whether or not we do this job or not, we are already involved, if that is a concern, right, of us being silenced. We already know it. So my concern is that this does indeed put us into the space of becoming mercenaries. It's a far jump from Defrex, Morgan. I understand that, yes, there was dangers that presented themselves, but those were dangers that were unforeseen. We went there to herd Defrex, not to stop a terrorist from unlaunching what is equal to nuclear winter on an entire city. I'm not saying we shouldn't do it, but I do think that it is important to understand that the stakes of this are much more severe than any of you seem to be taking them, with the exception of Vincent here.
This isn't fucking Yara berries anymore, right?
Hestia is like wide-eyed, which impossible not to be, but like emotionally you would see that she's wide-eyed. You know, the naivete of Hestia and turns after listening to all this and is like, Vincent, are you implying that they would hire us to do this job, and even if we succeeded, they might murder us?
Can you remember Sinjin?
Well, yes.
Well, that is exactly what happened with Sinjin.
Well, but he wasn't a member of the Vescarium government.
So
He was a criminal.
as
Oh,
we're
Hestia.
having this conversation, and as the captain is standing over there, still very much within everything, can I get a sense motive? Can I use empathy to kind of just get a vibe on him? Does he
What do you mean get a vibe on him?
essentially like trying to figure out, as we're talking about, like, would he just murder us so that none of this information got out? Is this something that are there any
I believe you have like a class skill that's tailored specifically to this.
Yes,
Okay. Talk to me about it.
empathy is what I have. You can do a sense motive check to read the emotions of a particular creature. If you succeed, you learn the general disposition, attitude towards creature within 30 feet of it. You gain +2 circumstance bonus to bluff, diplomacy, intimidate for the next hour.
Okay. So roll me the check.
Communalism.
Okay,
If you-
yeah, because
yeah.
that was a 5. Thank you.
I love communism.
Okay, so much better. That's a 13. So then that is going to be a 28.
Okay. All right. So, Morgan, you get, well, for one, you get the sense that Captain Fireheart's getting a little impatient, waiting on you all to deliberate. However, he has been, as far as you can tell, extremely forthright and, professional. And again, his service
Background,
record
yeah.
speaks for itself. Yeah. From everything that you can tell, Captain Fireheart is an honorable man and will do what he says.
As I said before, that cat's already out of the bag. Like, there's nothing we can do about that at this point, in the sense that, like, he's already told us the secret. So,
Yeah.
like, whether or not we accept this job or not is not going to impact if they were to kill us for knowing this information. Doesn't matter whether we take the job or not. Like,
Yeah,
that's-
if we turned
yeah.
it down, they'd just kill us
Yeah.
right then.
right,
Yeah.
you're right. So that's not
It
really an
doesn't
issue.
feel like this is the guy that would do that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
right.
just to kind of like assuage any fears, like Morgan would chime in and say, I'm not entirely sure about the rest of D9, but I get a sense that the captain is on the up and up. I mean, based on his service record and everything that we know and everything that I can feel from him, I don't think that he will be an issue. I think this comes down to, like the captain says, is this something that we want to take on? Essentially a mercenary type field.
Well, Morgan, if you get a good vibe on him, all right, I trust you.
I'd like you to also speak to us elevating this company to mercenary status, though. It's important that we all acknowledge and accept that as a team, is that is what we are doing.
I mean, that's kind of the concern I had earlier, Cap.
Right,
You know,
right, exactly.
but I mean, aside from intentionally going after people, we're already for hire to do jobs, so it's not too much of a stretch to get to that point.
I mean,
If it helps you to think about it as going somewhere to pick up some cargo and then deliver that cargo,
No, Zach, stop it.
Shit.
I mean, but Hestia is like, looks around again, like a little bit confused, and is like, the job is to stop a terrorist. That is a good thing. It's not as though we have to change our business cards to say mercenary.
You know, there's a whole series of movies about that.
Oh boy.
I did not know. Tell me about it in detail.
In detail.
I don't want to go too in detail, and he looks at Fireheart.
Yeah, team. Yes, we must make our decision.
Movie's
It's a
called
simple-
Transporter, though.
Yes, it's a simple acknowledgement. I will continue to captain this team if we're all in agreement and understanding the stakes involved. This is not a simple delivery. This is not a simple exchanging of goods. We are going to shake down a Formian, and then we are going to find a terrorist and do our best to bring that terrorist back alive who is in control of a high-powered chemical weapon. It is important that you all take this very seriously.
Well, mate, I'll just tell you, it's no sweat off me, ghoulies, whether we're cargo haulers or if we're mercenaries. I've done in and all between, so, look, mate, I just want you to know what the stakes are. So, as long as you're aware of it, just point me towards them.
Yes, thank you for making me aware of the stakes, Vincent. Appreciate that. All right, that's an eye from Vincent. What about the rest of you?
Yep.
An eye from Morgan. Great. Godric?
Yep.
Yep.
An eye up from Godric. And Hestia.
I mean, it's the right thing to do.
Yes, all right. Well, then he turns to the captain that's standing in the corner and says, we will take your job. We'll take this job and try to do it to the best of our ability. Anything that you could provide to give us aid in this would be most appreciated. Perhaps a suit of light armor for myself and my companion over here, Godric.
A suit of light armor of my choosing.
With many
Fitted for a
upgrade
doggo.
slots.
Perhaps this cred stick with 5,000 credits on it would suffice. And he,
It will.
and he hands you a cred stick with 5,000 credits on it.
Hell yeah.
And says, very good. I will leave you to your work. May the Moritash guide your Dashko.
Oh.
And may Hylax be with you.
And some Valachian platitude.
Some
He
Valachian platitude.
He extends his paw
platitude.
to shake his
Yeah,
hand.
he shakes your paw with his clawy vest hand
Yeah.
and leads you out of True Blue Dye Works and nods to you all, and he hops back into the Black Armada with another mysterious Vesk smoking a cigar in the back seat along with him.
Would you call him a CSV, maybe?
I would consider him a cigar smoking Vesk, indeed.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Nice.
Yeah.
I think he's just a chode, honestly.
Oh my god.
Okay, so let's keep this pushing.
Okay.
You all head back on the train to the spaceport, and you depart with Directive 9's blessing and make your way to Gascar 3. Your journey proves uneventful, and before you know it, you arrive outside of a music store with the banner that says Sonic Future on the front of it.
Okay.
Should all be on a
here.
map. You can open the doors, they're not locked. And you can all make your way inside. And as you all move in, obviously this is certainly a music store. There are a plethora of different kinds of instruments that you would see in the Starfinder universe. These are all much more high-tech versions of, you know, guitars and drums and stuff like that you would see. But there's, you know, all kinds of stuff. This does appear to be a legitimate music shop. And behind the counter, you see a green, not skinned, I guess,
Carapace.
carapist. Yeah. Formian.
Carapached.
Carapace, apologies.
You tried.
Right.
And there's an image of him that I'm posting for you right now. And he sees you all come in, and he perks up and he says, "Yes,
Oh god, no.
customers, welcome to Sonic Futures. What can I help you with?"
We're looking for death sticks. Do you have any death sticks?
I am afraid I do not have any death sticks. But good call on the voice, dude. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm just looking at this. Oh, man. There's like not a mouth. It's sort of like. How would you describe that?
Is it like wearing armor?
Yeah.
Or
That's just what a Formian looks like, man.
is it though?
They're usually not bright green like that.
Well, this one is.
I
He's
fucking
green.
love it. That's awesome looking right there.
it is cool.
It does. It
That
looks
is.
like there's what is that? Like a mouth guard on like an old school suit of armor.
Looks like a Mortal Kombat character.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
with little like ant mandibles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's
I
crazy.
mean, he looks bad as fuck.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
For
I
real.
don't trust him. I'll
He
tell
looks
you
like
that.
he's gonna kick our ass.
Yeah, he looks pretty intense to be running a music store. is
This
all
guy
I'm saying.
has Mortal Kombat 90s theme running in the background, like
Yeah.
right fucking now.
Mortal Kombat.
Yeah. So anyway, he asks you. I mean, he just stands there, waiting for a response when he asks
How
you
many-
what he can help you with.
How many doors? Is it just the front door that we can see?
The front door that you can see, there is a door to the back room, presumably an office or something like that. You know, but he's behind a counter.
Can he
I feel
access
like-
the door?
Sorry.
Can he get to the door at the back easily? Or does he have to go around the counter? I can't quite tell where the doors are.
You're like very concerned with are you trying to
We
like
don't want him
surround
to
don't
get
want him
away.
to get
We
out.
don't want him to
Yeah.
get away.
Okay,
Like-
okay. No, so the counter has like a fold out, you know, like a saloon door type
Okay.
thing, or like a bar counter swinging door. And so he would have to go around that
Okay.
in order to get to the back room.
Maureen would just kind of like make their way up to sort of like one side of the bar and would use telepathy to just kind of be like, make sure he doesn't get out. Are we ready to do this? Because I mean, we're going to shake this guy down, right? We're not trying to fuck around and be cute
Oh,
here.
I'm here to fuck
Like,
around and find out. All
and
right.
we are, in fact, trying to fuck around
So
and
what do you-
find out.
Okay, so
Mantis
are
and
we-
Hestia move in front of the doors, like to block the exit.
There you go.
Okay.
All right, so yeah, I guess the captain steps up and says,
Next to Captain Jensen.
"Yeah, Jask, is that it?"
Yes, that is me, Jask Meskask. How did
We have some
reputation
questions.
precede me?
In some manner of speaking, yes, we have some questions to ask you.
About what? I'm quite knowledgeable of instruments. Are you looking for a new
of
instrument?
death.
As he's doing this, can I get empathy, sex motive? Oh my god, a sense motive, please.
Just
Well-
get that churned up, get that going.
You
Yeah.
you can. However, as soon as Roland says instruments of death, Jask, his posture, I'm not going to say his facial expression because I don't think they can make facial expressions as far as I can tell, but his posture definitely changes. He looks a lot more tense and he says, "Look, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm a pacifist, but they're not." And he points to the back room. And the entrance to that room immediately erupts with gunfire as these two robots who are both wearing dusters, wide-brimmed hats,
Stop.
and bandoliers emerge, guns blazing. One of the constructs has an inscription that says Mark II on their forehead, and another has an inscription that reads Mark IV. And they come out, guns blazing, and we'll see you, Space Cowboys.
What the fuck?
Well, shit.
I think that's copyrighted. Strike it from the record.
Strike it.
I need to get one of those hats.
Damn it.
We have
yeah,
so
that's-
many
That's
cowboy
what I was
hats.
leading into, was the intimidate.
I was
there with
so,
the
I was
churned
just
up,
like,
yeah.
drop that bit for that.